Hi everyone, welcome to the Joyful Johnsons. Lauren here coming to you from beautiful Costa Rica, and today's video is going to be short and sweet, but something that's really helpful if you are looking at traveling to Costa Rica or like us wanted to move to Costa Rica. Today is all about money. What do you do for money in Costa Rica? What is the best way to pay for things, and kind of how do things work banking here and shopping and spending the money that you earn. So thank you guys for watching. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. My family's been living in Costa Rica in the Guanacaste province for 2.5 years, and we share here all of our adventures, the good, the bad, the ugly, and all the magnificent things in between. So thanks for watching. Let's dive right in. Okay friends, first we're going to talk about cash. Costa Rica has, I think, the most beautiful cash money that I have ever seen. It is, as you can see, super colorful, and it makes sense. It's one of the few things in Costa Rica that really seems logical and makes sense. All of the bills, as the amount gets larger, the bill actually gets larger as well. So you can see that the 20,000 colones bill is a little bit longer, and then they get shorter and shorter as they go down. Also with the coins, the 500 colones coin is the largest, then the 100 colone coin is a little smaller, then you have your 50 colone coin, they get a little bit smaller. There's the 25 colone coin and the 10 colone coin, which is a silver color. So it makes sense, they make them smaller as they go, which is really nice. So the local currency of Costa Rica is called the colon, or in plural, that is colones. They talk about them in mil, M-I-L, mil colones. So for instance, this bill here, this is 20 mil colones, which is 20,000 colones. Depending on what time of year that you're traveling here, the exchange rates are going to change. For instance, today we're in the month of July in 2023. Don't really know what day it is actually. I just know it's July. And the exchange rate is 537 colones to $1. But that's going to change all over the place because it varies day to day. Some businesses, most businesses, should post what their exchange rate is for their business. Many people and businesses will, just simply for math purposes to make it easier, make their exchange rate 500 colones to $1. Don't go with that. That is not a fair exchange rate, because it really, since I've lived here, it has not dropped that low. So be mindful of what is posted at the places that you are shopping. So let's dive into kind of how you can pay for things when you are here in Costa Rica. I have a few really excellent tips for you to save you the most money and to prevent you from being taken advantage of. If you go to a restaurant or a service and the goods or the service is posted in colones, pay in colones. If it is listed in US dollars, pay in US dollars. This is going to save you being taken advantage of or ripped off with the exchange rate, because we have seen it hundreds of times. If it's listed in colones, pay in colones. If it's listed in US dollars, pay in US dollars. Now the next item of business is that we get asked a lot of our guests who come to stay in our rental homes, and family who comes to visit, and people we know who are going to relocate here, is what do you do about credit cards? What places take credit cards or debit cards, and kind of what is the norm? Now, my experience from this video is going to be about the Guanacaste province, because that is where I live. There may be variances in the Southern Peninsula and other places of Costa Rica, so I'm just kind of speaking of the Pacific coast. So a lot of places take credit cards. A lot of places take credit cards and debit cards. But do keep in mind that cash is always best when you can pay in cash. It's better for the merchant and it's better for you. That being said, make sure that your credit card or debit card don't have international fees. When we moved here, we opened up a free bank account with Capital One from the United States. We do all of our banking online. We have for the last almost 3 years, and it's wonderful. We don't get charged any ATM fees. We don't get charged any international charges. So also that makes it easy for taking money out of the ATM. We also have a Barclays, American Airlines credit card that we use every month, and we pay off the balance every month so we don't accrue any interest. It gets no international fees, which is wonderful. And the best part is we get airline miles. So we save up the airline miles for whenever we want to travel next. So that's a really big bonus. There are other credit cards. I think the Chase Sapphire has no international fees as well. But make sure that you don't have an international fees on your credit card or your debit card, or you will get charged, and that's no fun. Next quick item on the list is a lot of people ask, do I need to take out a bunch of colones in my home country before I come to Costa Rica? And I usually say no. There are exchange counters at the airport, but I really don't recommend using those. I recommend going to an ATM, either at the airport or at PriceSmart or at one of the supermarkets or the local banks here, and then withdraw colones. There will be a daily limit, which of course will depend on the ATM that you're using, but the ATMs here are very easy to use, and then you can take out however many colones that you need, or US dollars as well. A lot of the ATMs here will dispense US dollars and colones because they are both widely accepted in the country as a whole. Now, an important note, if you are bringing US dollars with you, they cannot be damaged, friends. It's because it's not the local currency of Costa Rica. If there is the slightest, tiniest little rip or blemish or damage to the bill, it will not be accepted. Even when you go to any of the stores here or the vendors to pay in US dollars, they will inspect it quite heavily. So make sure that your bills are fresh and clean, keep them fresh and clean, and you'll be good to go. Friends, my last tip for you is to be really, really mindful and aware when you are shopping. We have seen personally at least 10 times of when we've been in a situation where someone is here either as a tourist or they've just moved here, and they go to a store that doesn't have any prices listed. And this is a common thing. Sometimes there's prices listed for things on the shelf and sometimes not. And the owners of the store will see that these look like wealthy tourists to them in their eyes, right? And they will charge a wild amount, especially with the conversion, right? This is again why I say, if it's listed in colones, pay in colones. If it's listed in dollars, US dollars, pay in US dollars. Be mindful when you're shopping so that you don't get taken advantage of. Never flaunt your money in public, of course, is always a really good travel tip. And never store all of your money in the same place in case something happens and your money tries to get pickpocketed, then you're not left without all of your cash. All that being said, Costa Rica, I feel, at least where we live, is a very safe place to live. As long as you're not flaunting your wealth, you don't make yourself a target to be stolen from. So that being said, friends, I hope this video was helpful for you. If you have any experiences from your travels or time in Costa Rica about money and shopping that you'd like to share, please drop a comment below. And thanks again for watching. If you have any specific questions about money in Costa Rica or life in Costa Rica, please feel free to drop a comment as well. Thank you for subscribing, friends, and we'll see you next time.